Okay, so welcome everyone to my first ever ESO video, I guess. This isn't the main ESO video that I've been planning. I've been planning one for WoW, SWTOR and ESO. This is not that video. I just thought I would probably react to it. The global reveal for Darkwood. Is that what it's called? Duskwood. Fuck, I've already forgotten the name. And in part, that's kind of because, for me, this could quite possibly be the most, like, I'm hyped for this expansion and I'm disappointed at the same time. We'll put it that way. When it comes to this expansion, and I'm going to skip through this video just so people are aware, we're not going to be watching the whole thing because it's like half an hour followed by about an hour and a half detailed kind of live show afterwards. So we're going to skip through parts. Okay. So firstly, let's get the first trailer up. I don't know where the first trailer is. It's here. Okay. It's called Blackwood. Yeah. Not Darkwood. I don't know why I called it Darkwood. So Darkwood. The Oblivion, kind of the Year of the Oblivion expansion. There is no new class. There is no new skill line. Yeah. Bit disappointing. That's where the disappointment comes in. And why is this taking so long to load? Gosh damn. Showing the previous expansions. Come on. Come on, video. Load up. That's what happens when they do 2 hours pre-show, when it's literally just nothing but a countdown. It's now going to work, like magic. So, firstly, the expansion. Let's talk about the world. It's going to be in South Cyrodiil, kind of on the border with Black Marsh. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be kind of west of the map. It's actually east. It's towards kind of Morrowind, Black Marsh area. It borders Black Marsh. So we're filling in more of that side of the map. Don't know where the second zone will be. We still don't know. Obviously, they tend to keep that hush-hush until the chapter comes out. So we still don't know what's going to happen kind of in Quarter 4. But we do know, obviously, 2 dungeons, Quarter 2, the expansion, as you're seeing the trailer right now. This is the full trailer, this isn't the teaser. And in Quarter 3, we will then be getting, obviously, more dungeons. Quarter 4, another zone. But no new class. Morrowind, we had a new class, we had the Warden. And then in Elsewhere, which was the 3rd expansion, we had the Necromancer. And in between that, at Somerset, we had the Sigic Guild, and then we had Antiquities, which was 2 skill lines in Greymore, which is kind of, if you don't know what Antiquities are, if you've missed the game for like a year, if you haven't played for a while, it's basically like a puzzle that gives you rewards such as treasure, house items, and like armor. Even a mount, there's one mount that you can earn from it, and you basically just go around digging up stuff, doing these like little mini games. It's pretty cool, but it's you know, it's nothing game changing. It was just a fun little activity that they're continuing to add to in this expansion, which is nice. But it's nothing that's like, it was nothing that blew people's heads off. I think that was kind of what disappointed most people with Greymore, was it felt like quite a shallow expansion, even though it was a really cool expansion. Especially the fact that it had technically 2 maps, because you kind of had like the overworld and then you had the Black Reach underneath, which was really cool. And also everyone loved like the vampire and werewolf theme of that year. So now we're on to Blackwood. There we go. Got it right this time. So we've got 2 zones again, which is really cool. The other zone, of course, is going to be the Daedra zone. I completely forgot. I actually still haven't completed Oblivion. I have got a character save. I have been playing through it very slowly, but I've completely forgotten. It's one of the Daedric princes. You'll see him in a moment. He's like a big red guy with 4 arms. Pretty cool. Still need to play Oblivion all the way through, so I actually know kind of, I guess, not the backstory, because this is obviously a prequel to Oblivion by about 800 years. But I really like the theme. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be really good from that standpoint. There's going to be kind of the Daedric portals from Oblivion. The big orange portals are going to be the new kind of overworld events, instead of, obviously we had the vampire blood storms, whatever they were called, We had the dragons in Elsewhere, which was probably the best one that we've had so far. We had the... What was in... Somerset was the geysers, if I remember correctly. Anyway. So yeah. I think questing-wise, they've added in there's two companions at launch that you can get from the expansion. So companions are now a thing. So if you're a solo player, that's great. I think you can set them to heal, DPS, or tank. So if you're really struggling, if you're not a healer, let's say, you're a DPS character, you can set them to heal, and you'll be able to, get through content easier, essentially. You won't have to think about healing as much, because you can think more about your DPS as a solo player. I don't believe you can take them into PvP though, or dungeons, I think, or trials. I saw someone joke about 24-player trials. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think companions can come with you for those sort of adventures. But I think they're more for kind of the overworld, for public dungeons, for delves. I think they're more for that sort of stuff. Which is pretty cool. They're also, and I'm so glad I made this video in the morning instead of late last night when the stream happened. They've added in they've not added in champion points, they've revamped champion points. This is the main bad guy as well. He looks pretty cool. Also, if anyone's wondering, here's all the different, additions you can get. Here's the pre-order. No, this is, is this? Yeah, that's the pre-order. There's also collector's edition items as well. Yep. And if you order by like the 10th of March or something, you can get a little bear cub. I think we just about missed this one. Come on, show me the bear. Oh, that one. Okay, anyway. It's not cooperating with me. There it is. Cool, I guess, if you want a bear that's set on fire. Okay, so we're going to skip forward a bit, because there is a lot of info. So, this is why I'm so glad that I made this video later, because I only watched maybe the first half an hour of the post show, the live show. So I completely missed out on the new champion point system. And I think this is why there's no new class or no new weapon. Not that we've had a new weapon yet, so there's no precedent for that, but I think a lot of people would love a new weapon type. Particularly like some sort of close range magicka weapon for those magicka builds. As well as probably a new stamina weapon, because stamina could use with another one as well. Where are we? I would love a crossbow tree, for example, to give stamina another ranged option. Where are the champion points? Quite a bit of the way through, I think. Here we are. So they've completely revamped it. The way this is going to work is basically you'll have your standard passives like you did before. Of course, you've got like your mage archetype, your warrior archetype, and your thief archetype. Instead of it being 9 trees, they've basically like merged them and revamped them. But some skills, if you max them out, will get an extra bonus, which you can then slot to activate. And you can have 4 from each. Each one does 1,200. If you do the math, that's 3,600. There we go. CP points. Instead of the current 800 and something? Or 1,000? I forget what the current is, to be completely honest. So yeah, this looks really good. I think this is going to change the end game, because personally, I'm like CP 180 maybe, CP 185, and I play the game a lot, but I pretty much just level up characters, because I'm not a big fan of the end game, because it just didn't really feel like it had any depth to it. And although, yes, I would love a new class, I want a Dwemer Engineer class, I saw other people asking for like a Moth Priest class or something, or a Battle Mage. Yes, it would be nice to have a new class, of course it would. But this is the Corona expansion. This is the expansion. Greymore, most of it was made kind of before the pandemic fully kicked off. Greymore was a Corona with lime. This is a Corona without lime. This is just, it's alright, but it's not going to be anything amazing. I think the fact is, next year is going to be the expansion where either we'll get a new class, we might even get 2 things. We might get a new class and a new skill line, maybe. Who knows? I think what they're doing this year, especially as they've been, acquired by Microsoft, they're upgrading their server technology, supposedly even more. Hopefully that's with some of Microsoft's help, because let's be honest, the servers aren't great at the moment. And yes, they did say they were meant to improve them last year in 2020, but it didn't really happen. Or the improvement wasn't big enough, I think, for most people. So hopefully the servers get that genuine improvement. I think the new champion point system is going to be really good for endgame. I think it's going to make endgame a lot more interesting. It's going to make me actually want to play my level 50 characters and actually earn CP points instead of just leveling a new character every time I get bored. I think it's going to make endgame a lot more interesting. Yes, it does suck. Yes, I would love a new class. I would love a new skill line. I would love a new weapon type. I would love them to do that. We don't get any of those things. But we're getting companions, which will be cool for solo players. And we're getting the new champion point system, which I think is pretty good. It looks pretty good. They actually show it off a little bit. There we go. Skip forward a little bit. So as you can see, kind of standard gives you some passives, but if you get it up to 50, you unlock a bonus, I believe. Yeah, that you then have to slot up here, which is pretty cool. So that's really all there is to say about this expansion. I think 2021 might be a bit rough for ESO. I think the game's going to get to a point where it's really, really good and polished this year. I just hope that 2021 straight away they build upon a more polished ESO with more features. Because this really feels like this is almost the ESO remaster. It's the revamping. We're making it really solid. We're going to make the game really good for new and returning players and current players without adding much in. That's what this year feels like. And I presume part of that has probably been impacted by 2020. You know, I definitely think we're feeling a bit of that with this expansion. However, you know, I mean, this dev team works its socks off. I think this is going to be a good year for ESO. They've even changed the whole Indrik thing. That might be a bit later on that they show that off. Here it is. The new events, you'll now be able to earn a pet, and then you can turn that pet into, I think, a personality or even a house by quarter 4. They said you'll be able to turn it into a house, which is a bit odd, I guess, turning your pet into a house through morphing it. This is definitely going to make me want to play the events more. I can say that for sure. I think just overall, this expansion looks good, but just I'm excited, but I'm also like, oh, I wish I had a new class to play at the same time. I don't know how this expansion's managed to get both feelings out of me. Obviously, it's too early to judge, though, truly. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the best expansion we've had. We just can't say yet until we play it. I think Elsewhere is still going to be top for me, personally. Elsewhere is probably my favourite, just because it adds in the Necromancer. Elsewhere was an awesome expansion. South Elsewhere was a great additional area and continuation of that story. I just loved the Year of the Dragon. It was a great content year. I don't think the Year of Oblivion is going to be quite as good. I'm not even sure if it'll be as good as the Year of Skyrim or whatever it was called, the Greymoor year. But I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be a bad expansion by any means. I just think it's going to be a little bit lackluster just because people really wanted that new class or a new weapon type or a new skill tree. But there's nothing we can do. I think it's just probably circumstantial. I think that's why it's happening this way. Also, physical collection. If you want a physical statue, you can go get one. Statues aren't really my thing, so I'm not going to bother with it. But it looks really cool if you're into that sort of stuff. So, yeah. And I think that's it. There's also new merchandise. Loads of new merchandise or something along those lines. So tell me what you think. What do you think about this expansion? I think this is going to be good. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's going to blow up anyone out of the water. I really want to talk about SWTOR soon as well, because I've been playing a load of Star Wars The Old Republic, I've been playing loads of WoW. I want to talk about those games, and now the live stream just has decided not to load anymore, which is great. So it's going to be interesting to see where other MMOs are going this year. We've got New World this year, more Ashes of Creation. In fact, there's a live stream in a couple of days. I'll be covering that. I'll probably do a full reaction to that instead of just a summary. And yeah, tell me what you think. I think this is going to be good, but I don't think it's going to blow people out of the water. I think it's just going to be a solid year. we'll get to 2022, January 2022, and they'll probably have a lot more announcements for us as they start to go back to their office and when they're able to get more done, I imagine. I don't know what restrictions they've had, but I imagine there's been some. And it looks like they've just gone for, hey, look, we're going to polish the game, which is fine. Polishing the game is fine. I think a lot of people are content with them polishing the game, ultimately. So I hope you guys enjoyed. For some reason, maybe my internet's died. I don't know why it's not loading anymore. Oh, there we are. Now it loads at a lower resolution, of course. This is the new logo as well. It looks pretty nice. But without further ado, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.